This is a story about how hatred can turn into the deepest kind of love, and how village people sometimes use strange ways to bless you. Gather round, because this gist is hot, just like the title of the movie, Hit Above Heart. Our story begins with a very wealthy young man named Tobena. Tobena is what you would call a big boy, handsome, successful, the heir to a massive oil and gas empire. But even big boys have problems. His problem comes in the form of his dying grandfather. You see, Tobena's grandfather is on his deathbed, but instead of just giving blessings, he drops a bombshell. He tells Tobena that he owes a debt of life to his former gateman, Mr. Silas Ike. Apparently, years ago, the gateman's son died while running an errand for the grandfather. To pay this debt, the grandfather insists that Tobena must marry the gateman's granddaughter, a girl named Chinaza. Tobena is furious. Imagine. He is a billionaire heir, and his grandfather wants him to marry a stranger from a poor family just to settle a conscience debt. He refuses flat out. But you know how these old men are, they have their ways. The grandfather insists, and eventually, out of respect and duty, Tobena reluctantly agrees. But he promises himself that it will just be a transaction. He will marry the girl, fulfill the wish, and live his life. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, things are tough for Chinaza. She is a sharp, spirited girl who has just finally passed her JAMB exams after 3 attempts. She has dreams of going to university, of making something of herself. But poverty is a terrible thing. Her parents are struggling, and to make matters more complicated, there is Chika. Chika is Chinaza's nephew, the son of her late sister. The little boy has Down syndrome and needs special care and medication, which the family can barely afford. Then, the news comes. Tobena's family reaches out to Chinaza's parents with the marriage proposal. And let me tell you, Chinaza's mother, Madam Grace, acts as if she has won the lottery. When she hears chairman of oil and gas, she doesn't even ask questions. She is ready to package her daughter and ship her off immediately. Gifts start arriving, iPhone 17, bags of rice, cartons of food. The house is full. But Chinaza, she is not having it. She is a firebrand. She tells her parents bluntly that she is not for sale. She screams, she shouts, she tells them she would rather hawk in the streets than marry a stranger for money. She even threatens to pack all the expensive gifts and return them. Her father is a bit more sympathetic, but he is weak against the mother's overpowering greed. However, life has a way of humbling you when you least expect it. Just as Chinaza is standing her ground, tragedy strikes. Little Chika falls violently ill. He is burning up with fever, suffering from pneumonia. Panic takes over. They need to get him to a hospital, they need drugs, but there is no Shasha in the house. Chinaza begs her parents to do something, but her mother looks her in the eye and tells her the hard truth: if you want to save this boy, you know what to do. It is blackmail, plain and simple. But for the love of her nephew, whom she loves like her own son, Chinaza breaks. She agrees to the marriage. But she gives her parents a condition: they must use the money from the marriage to take excellent care of Chika. If she ever comes back and finds him suffering, hell will break loose. The marriage happens, and Chinaza is moved into Tobena's massive mansion. And let me tell you, she arrives ready for war. On their wedding night, Tobena tries to be civil, perhaps even a bit helpful, offering to help unzip her dress. Chinaza nearly bites his head off. She calls him a pervert, screams at him, and banishes him from the room. She tells him to his face that she hates him and will never be his wife in the true sense. Tobena, to his credit, keeps his cool. He realizes this is not going to be easy. The next few weeks are a battlefield. Chinaza decides that if she is going to be a prisoner in this marriage, she is going to be the most expensive, annoying prisoner ever. Tobena gives her his credit card, a black card with no limit, expecting her to be grateful. Instead, she goes on a rampage. She buys everything and anything. Fridges she doesn't need, drones, huge TVs, expensive clothes. She swipes that card like she is trying to bankrupt the Central Bank of Nigeria. She is trying to get a reaction, trying to make him angry enough to divorce her. But Tobena is a different kind of man. He sees the pain behind her actions. Instead of shouting, he simply pays the bills. He tries to talk to her, tries to get to know her, but she shuts him down every time. She starts partying, clubbing, coming home late, and hanging out with a questionable crowd at the university he helped her get into. Yes, even amidst the chaos, Tobena used his connections to get her that admission she wanted so badly. One day, things come to a head. Chinaza is at a club, acting wild, trying to drown her frustration. Tobena tracks her down. He drags her out, not out of anger, but out of concern. They have a massive confrontation in the car. Chinaza screams at him, "You ruined my life. I had plans." Tobena looks at her and calmly asks, "If you weren't married to me, what would you be doing?" She says she would be in school. He reminds her she is in school, driving a luxury car, with millions in her account. But she is too blinded by her hatred to see the privilege. The turning point begins with a revelation. Tobena sits her down and finally explains why he married her. He tells her the full story of his grandfather and her grandfather. He explains the guilt his family carried over the death of her uncle. He tells her it wasn't about buying her, it was about honoring a debt of life. He opens up about his own pain, his own losses. For the first time, Chinaza sees him not as a rich tyrant, but as a human being trapped in duty just like her. But the real shift happens when an ex-lover shows up. You know, there is always an ex. This lady barges into the house, claiming territory, trying to humiliate Chinaza. She acts as if Chinaza is just a placeholder. In that moment, something wakes up in Chinaza. Jealousy. Perhaps. Pride. Definitely. She stands her ground and throws the intruder out. She realizes that this is her home, and Tobena is her husband. Tobena, seeing her distress, makes a